enemy contractor, 3 o'clock!
Countless monsters are wildly attacking humans. Terrified, Awe and his friend ran for their lives. The helicopter is barely holding on, wobbling wildly in the sky. Just when things were looking dire, Awe quickly jumped into the car while Huaji hurriedly fired the heavy machine gun at the approaching monsters. The monster started running wildly, refusing to give up. It insisted on feasting, unfazed by the hail of bullets. Thanks to their relentless efforts, a tragedy was averted. Suddenly, a time-space rift appeared at the World Cup. The audience of tens of thousands was stunned as a group of armed soldiers emerged from the crack. Countless viewers were stunned as the leader claimed they were from 30 years in the future, facing an unprecedented war. In just 2 years, nearly 10 billion people worldwide faced a brutal alien monster, not human enemies. Soon, with less than 500,000 people left, human civilization will vanish from this beautiful planet. Once this was said, countries quickly mobilized their armies to fight terrifying aliens from the future, but they kept losing ground despite their efforts. Even a battle-hardened Special Forces soldier can't survive in a world overrun by monsters, despite countless journeys to the future. The time machine broke down, causing thousands to fall like dumplings, sent to the northwest before they could scream. In the blink of an eye, the massive army dwindled to just a handful. Oblivious to danger, they still admired the apocalyptic scenery. By the time they realized it was too late, the monster launched a surprise attack, and seeing their comrades fall, everyone panicked and opened fire. They didn't expect it to backfire, angering the monster. They fled, too scared to stay. You can only fight and run at the same time, but it's too late. Awestruck, Awe fired desperately, but soon ran out of bullets. Furious, he grabbed his axe, ready for a final showdown. Who knew the monster would dodge so easily? I was almost its snack, but luckily, Old Black arrived just in time. It took several shots to hit the monster's weak spot and finally take it down. Finally saw the support troops, but joy was short-lived. The monster's sudden attack flipped the armored vehicles, and the people inside became its snacks. Terrified, Awe and his friends desperately fought back like madmen, but sadly, their regular weapons couldn't harm the monster at all. Seeing the feast ahead, they roared to call more friends, ready to enjoy it, shooting deadly stingers. If hit, death is certain. Facing such a brutal threat, the military is deploying several fighter jets to indiscriminately bomb the area. If they don't leave soon, they're doomed. The monster's attack isn't slowing down, and they're cornered with no way out. The monsters went on a rampage. Bullets only made them fiercer. In desperation, Little Fatty and her friends stayed behind. The others quickly evacuated as bombers turned the city into a fiery inferno. But killing these monsters isn't fast enough to outpace their terrifying reproduction rate. The military plans to capture a Beast King alive for detailed study. Soon, they reached a terrifying lair, and countless soldiers ventured inside. A tug-of-war match kicked off with a roar, and suddenly the ropes slackened, releasing a furious Beast King charging out. The soldiers were caught off guard by the wild attack, some killed instantly amid piercing screams. It bit in half, roared loudly, and chaos ensued with many injured. After a wild rampage, the Beast King retreated to its cave. Terrified, the soldiers unleashed flames, forcing the Beast King out again, but this made the guy even more brutal. Seeing someone about to die, Sister Hua got furious and shot the monster's tentacle. Even though he managed to free his companion, he found himself on the brink of death, thrown 10 meters away, attracting more monsters with his loud roar. Terrified, Awe jumped from the helicopter to fiercely fight back. After taking down the monster, he quickly entered the cave to rescue. Sister Hua gave it her all to grab the deadly tentacle. The angry Beast King shot out a poison sting, hitting its own mouth. Everyone quickly pushed the beast inside. Despite the heavy losses, we managed to capture the Beast King. We quickly reached a military base on the sea, home to those who disregard humanity. Once we develop an antidote, we might be able to eliminate all the monsters on Earth. After thousands of trials, the fatality rate finally reached 100%. But before they could celebrate, the Beast King signaled countless monsters. The dense swarm from the sea rushed towards the 100-meter defense wall, which couldn't stop them. All soldiers immediately opened fire. The fighter jets kept strafing along the city walls, but there were just too many monsters, quickly breaking through the defenses. The monster quickly found the imprisoned Beast King, using its sharp teeth to break the chains. Freed, the Beast King swiftly sought revenge. The monster army is fiercely attacking the military platform, humanity's last line of defense. We just need to hold out until the light machine activates. If we send our way back to 2022 with the virus, we can stop the disaster. Even if they all fail, it's worth it. Who knew the next second, Huaji was hit by the monster's sting, causing excruciating pain. In less than a minute, the Beast King found the two hiding for their lives. Just as the platform started collapsing, the monster grabbed Sister Hua and fell. Luckily, Wei quickly reacted and held on tightly. Unfortunately, Wei couldn't hold on and jumped, hoping to cross with the other person, but it was too late. Quickly returned to 2022, discovering through monster DNA that they landed on Earth 1,000 years ago. The target is set on the cold Arctic. Due to global warming, the monster awakens in 30 years, scaring them into action. A large batch of toxins was quickly produced and sent out. Soon, a huge magnetic field was detected ahead. In the icy Arctic, a frozen alien ship was found, filled with terrifying creatures. If they awaken, it could spell disaster. Terrified, they quickly started injecting the toxin as the monster roared in pain. It was soon sent northwest, but joy was short-lived. More dormant monsters were awakened and attacked fiercely before they could react. Starving for millennia, they were desperate for a feast. Old Wang and Chianga fought back fiercely, but it wasn't a life-or-death situation. Chianga had to grab the chainsaw. The runaway monster crashed straight into it as more awakened creatures appeared. Go! They all have to play! Lao He decisively detonated the bomb, taking out the monster with him. Wei, barely escaping death, remains on high alert. A cunning Beast King escaped and targeted a new feast, but missed its mark. Turns out it was Old Wang's trap, enraging the Beast King who charged madly, desperate to survive. Luckily, Wei arrived just in time on his motorcycle. Together, they launched a fierce attack on the monster, which retaliated by shooting poisonous spikes. Seeing they were outnumbered, they decided to play hide and seek. Terrified, they leaned back to back, not daring to relax. Suddenly, the monster attacked again, knocked them out. The sting knocked away Wei's gun, then hit his thigh. In pain, Wei attacked the monster's eyes with all his might. The old man swung his hiking stick wildly, like a headless chicken, hitting an invisible monster, while Wei timed his strike perfectly. Quickly, the pathogen was kicked towards the sly tentacled monster, causing it to sever its own arm. Furious, Old Wang cut his palm to distract the creature. Wei seized the moment and punched the venom into the monster's mouth. By the time it reacted, its head was already melting. Wei kicked it again,